Alright guys, in today's video we're going to go over your blocks for your Tiny Tiger and Little Dragon program. We're going to be going over up block, down block, inside block, outside block, and knife hand block or shutouke. Every single block has its Japanese name. Typically for the kiddos we really try to focus on just the English version so that way they can kind of get the idea of it first before trying to add extra details to it, right? So typically blocks are performed in a horse stance or in a front stance. However, we also want the kiddos to understand, hey, look, you need to be able to perform these blocks in a sparring situation as well. So in the meantime, I just say, let's go ahead and just be relaxed. Have a relaxed stance, or in other words, a hikodachi, or a ready position, okay? And if I'm going to do my up block, this is the shape. So I'm going to have both hands in my chambers right now, right on top of my hip bones. I'm going to do my up block. So I always tell the kiddos, put your hand on the elevator, go up the elevator, and then look at my fist real quick. Get off the elevator, just like that. So now I'm on top of the roof. Yay, right? And now I have to go back down. So I get back onto the elevator, I go down the elevator, and then I can get off the elevator once again. So I tell the kiddos, hey, look, it's impossible to just jump on top of a building, and it wouldn't be very, very safe to get back down the same way that you came, right? So we always try to help them understand, go up that elevator, because that gives them the right alignment. Couple of details. Number one, when I make my fist, fingers are curled in, thumbs are locked. Okay. Number two, yes, I am trying to go straight up this line. And then when I twist, you might notice that my fist is pointing toward the audience or toward my sensei. Another thing that you might notice is that my elbow is right in front of my shoulder versus out here. All right. So we want to get that detail. So when we tell the kiddos, all right, do the next one, they would bring that elbow down, come back up, right? So it's always getting on and getting off of that same exact elevator. So this block is called up block, or in Japanese, jodan agiyuke. Now we have down block. So once again, I'm going to have my hands chambered first. To start the down block, we'll tell the kids, all right, take your pinky, put it to your shoulder, and then swing down, right? Now for Tiny Tigers and Little Dragons, we typically don't do a lot of compression with both hands. It's a lot of coordination going on at one time. So we typically just work on one hand at a time for Tiny Tigers and Little Dragons. So I say, bring the hand to the shoulder, swing down, and then twist. And if I were in like a front stance, you'll notice that my hand stops right on top of my leg, right? I don't move that hand position when I'm in a horse stance, right? Like as far as the relationship goes between my arm and my body, it doesn't change. So you might notice, like look at my arm real quick. My arm's not moving, my body just kind of moves around it, right? That's important. So once again, pinky up to the shoulder, swing down, and then twist. You might notice I make contact with the top of the forearm, made contact with the target, twist and push the target out of the way. And then I tell the kids, bring it back. Next one, come up, down, bring it back. Up, down, bring it back. So that is gedan barai, or down block. Our next one is called inside block. Sotouke is what we refer to it as. So I tell the kiddos, take your fist, raise your hand like you have a question. So I look like this, boom. And I take my arm, I swing to the middle, aligned where my chest is, right, like the middle of my chest. And once I get to that middle point, I'm going to twist my fist, and it's going to allow my elbow to stay in the middle, and then my hand kind of comes across to the other shoulder, right? So once again, I come up, middle, twist. Now, I'm not purposely like trying to push my arm down. That's really, really bad. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we still have the fist much higher than the elbow, all right? And then I bring it back. Next hand comes up, across, and back. Up, across, and back. So that is inside block, sotouke. Our last block is called uchiuke, outside block. So I'm going to take the pointer finger, the knuckle of my pointer finger, and I'm going to come across to the shoulder. I come out and then twist. And you might notice that my fist is looking right at my face on these inside blocks and outside blocks. Okay, common mistakes, kiddos, they come out here and they just swing their hand out and their hand looks like this, right? So once again, pointer finger knuckle or index knuckle to the shoulder, come out, twist, and I stop in front of my same shoulder. Bring it back. Across, out, twist, bring it back. Across, out, twist, bring it back. So those are the first 4 basic blocks. Typically can be done in a front stance, like so, right? Boom, boom. It can be done practicing in a horse stance if they're trying to get a good exercise, but then also work on their blocks at the same time, right? So excellent job. The last block is called knife hand block, shuto-uke. Now we really break this one down for the kiddos just to try to help them out. When they're doing their kata, we just tell them, hey, push the hand forward, push the hand forward. As they get older and they go into a beginner's program and an intermediate program, we talk a lot about compression and expansion, which is something that our 4-year-olds to 7-year-olds it's probably not best to go over that yet, right? So for shuto-uke, typically done in a back stance like this, kokutsudachi, right? We'll tell the kids, okay, make 2 chops, finger straight, and then bring your thumbs curled inward, okay? And we're going to push one hand forward, and we're going to have the other hand just between my belly button and my solar plexus. My solar plexus is that soft little spot right underneath my sternum, right? So I have my hand right here between belly button, solar plexus, other hand is here. So if they wanted to like step up with their shuto-uke, they would come up, and I would just tell them, hey, just push. And what they're doing is they're making contact with this portion of the hand right here. And the idea right now for them is, all right, here comes a punch or a strike or whatever, and I'm kind of like guiding it out of the way for me. Come forward, guiding it out of the way. While the other hand, the chambered hand, is coming right here. Whereas before, like up blocks, down blocks and stuff, the chambered hand was always right here, right? But for shuto-uke, the chamber hand is right above the belly button instead. So I'm coming in this direction, here. Okay, so those are your 5 basic blocks for the entire program for Tiny Tigers and Little Dragons. Go start practicing.